Hi, Jeff, Julie, and Ethan. That is your GrowBot, and it took a lot longer than expected. Even just to package the crazy thing, it's taken like 3 days. But here it is. And not just package it, I had to assemble it, test it, make sure everything was working properly. And then we actually had one snafu where I had wanted this little guy. This is this board right here is what I wanted to send you. It's a single solitary printed circuit board, but it had a glitch, and I spent a lot of time trying to get it to working. This is a hand-built circuit board, or control board, and it works great. We've had it with clients now for over a year, and they work really fantastic. It just takes a lot of effort to make them, which is hence the reason for the printed circuit board. But it's just not quite done yet. Anyhow, continuing on. So this is your GrowBot. I'll be packing it up when I get home. I have to go make a little errand. But when I get back, I'll pack it up, and then tomorrow we'll ship it. The post office is already closed. Even if I did get it packaged in 2 minutes, it'll still be closed. But it takes about an hour to package it. But yeah, there you go. It's your GrowBot. Let me explain how it works. Solar panel, right? The control board down here actually has one small computer. It functions like your brainstem. It just makes everything work. And up here is the big computer with the camera. It just looks down, takes a picture of that, analyzes the white to green ratio, and then we can actually upgrade it remotely so it can actually do more, but right now it's just a fairly simple algorithm. Okay, that takes care of that. You have 60 places to put plants. So there's 3 tanks, 1, 2, and 3. And you can put 20 plants inside of each one. And I'd recommend that you stage them out anywhere from 2 weeks to a month if you're planting lettuce. That way, as your lettuce bolts, you can just replant a new one, and then you always have new ones to go. You're a family of 3, so you should be able to get basically a big salad for each of you every 3 days. The machine itself is designed to produce 1 big salad per day. But if you actually had a small salad per day, you'd get 3 small salads, maybe like a third of a dinner plate, roughly. But just ways to actually get around it. And you can ask me later about how to make it go a little bit faster. But you can also put things, of course, like herbs and cucumbers and tomatoes. And we recommend that you mix up the plants inside of each tank. That actually helps to naturally balance out the nutrients without having to go pH up and pH down and all that sort of stuff. And that's the way we designed it, to actually use that permaculture technique to balance out nutrients. Okay, and these are all your net pots. You will need to order Botanicare, Pure Blend Tea, and then coconut coir. And with this email, those will be links inside there for it. Okay, and then here are your nutrient tanks. There's 3 of them. One's a little bit smaller. We actually have new ones designed that'll actually maximize the space inside here and put them all the equal size. However, they're just not, we don't have the money right now to buy them. When I do get them, I'll send you those 3 nutrient tanks. So this one, of course, will empty out a little bit faster than these 2. And that'll take anywhere from, depends on how big the plants are really, anywhere from about 10 days to 3 weeks. If the plants are really small, it takes forever because it gives them very little nutrient. Once the plants get big though, then we start feeding a lot more aggressively. There's 2 pumps inside of each one of these tanks. One, without anything on it, that is the stir. So it basically keeps the nutrients, because the nutrients are a homogeneous mixture and they will separate naturally. We don't want them separated naturally. We want them to actually go inside the tank all mixed up. So we mix it, then we put it inside the tank. And then inside the tanks, there's a circulation pump. And the circulation pump hose just goes down to the other end of the tank. Okay, and then, oh, hang on, one more thing is here. These go down to valves down beneath, and I'll show you those valves in just a moment. I'm sending you some tie wraps. Once you actually have everything put together, put the little tie wraps on there. That'll keep it from, otherwise you'll get a little bit of leakage from here, which is not the hugest deal, but you don't really want it. Okay, so moving on to there down here. Okay, you can see the solar panel, it just fits into these 3 little wood pieces. It's a tempered glass, it's very, very strong. The solar panel, according to the manufacturer, should last about 20 years. I'm not so sure about that, but it will last you more than what we warranted it for, which is 5 years. Okay, and then, okay, so inside here, there's 2 more wires. Well, when you get it, you'll see these 2 wires. These go to the circulation for the food pumps and circulation for the main tanks that connect up to this big wiring harness down here. And I also sent you a whole bunch of little baby tie wraps. But the main computer is right here. And what's great about the main computer is that and all those wires, there's 3 different sections. As you can see, there's 3 different lines of wires. And those are for these 3 different tanks. 1, 2, and 3, okay? And then you connect up the food. You connect up the, which is the little ones up top in the tanks, the food circulation, which is one of those splitter cables. And then the valves, and then the water sensors. Let me show you the water sensor. Okay, the water sensors are right here, right? And it's just 2, it's actually 316 stainless, which is a marine grade stainless. And then what'll happen is that the water comes up when it's filling through the inlet right here. And as soon as it gets to these wires, it turns off. That's a computer controlling that. And then with the valve structure or valve assembly, you have this, it connects to your water hose, and then you have these guys which connect to your water lines, right? So there's 3 of these, and they're all cut to size, so you'll see which one goes to which. It's pretty straightforward. And if not, just move it around. Just wait until you put the tie wraps on until you have them all firmly connected. And there's actually should be enough hose that you should be able to put the hose on all the way up to here. So it's on there really snugly. And just hand pressure is all that you need to assemble it, nothing else. And let's see, the wire that goes to the main computer basically has 3 different 2 different pairs and 1 extra wire inside there. It basically is for communicating with the computer up here and powering it. Let's see what else. Let's see, went over the water sensors, went over the food circulation, main circulation, food dispense, this computer. And then when the thing is on, you actually will see some lights inside here. And that's about it. And then if you, depending on basically the other controllers, like once the other controller is done, I'll send you that one. If you need it. You may not need it. And actually this is kind of cool because you can actually see some of what's going on inside there, whereas the controller that we built, it just goes inside of a plastic box which goes mounted on the inside of the wall. It's just, you know, it's just a piece of magic. It's just a black box that just works. The tanks are from Denmark. They are made of a high-grade polypropylene for hydroponic use. The tops are food-grade ABS, made in the United States. Solar panels made in China. And then the pumps made in China. These little plasticky deals, I'm pretty sure made in the US. The cedar is US. Redwood legs should be fine. I would still recommend putting them on concrete though. But it should last you a long time. I would also recommend painting it, especially in your case, painting it. And then I have sealed every single wire, but you maybe want to just wrap a little bit of a good quality electrical tape around these fittings once you actually have it all assembled. And that'll just keep that salt water that you're gonna be putting it right next to from eating up these little, these are exposed a little bit just right along there. Everything else with the exception of this metal ring up here and the metal ring on the other side of this mason jar are all hidden. And that will probably eventually be, my guess is that this will rust out, and then once that rusts out, you'll ask me for a new one, that's no problem. But yeah, otherwise everything's zinc coated or brass coated or should be very, very weather resistant, but I would recommend painting it. Just any sort of fence paint is fine. So, these little water sensors, they just fit back here, and then actually when the thing's down, it'll actually keep it flush inside there, so pretty easy. And there's 3 different holes here. One is for the water inlet, one is for the circulation pump and the food inlet, and the other is for the water sensor. And then when you put in the circulation pump, the only way to get that in is to actually have the food hose in, not in there. And then I actually put the wires So 3 wires over here, actually total of 4. 4 wires over here, 4 wires right here, and then 4 wires right here. And then you actually will have this wire will go down over here for the solar panel. So I'm going to put numbers on each one of the legs and body parts or numbers that will help you to align everything. And I believe that's about it. First thing you'll do, of course, is you're going to assemble the frame, attach the camera and camera mast, and then you'll put in the tanks, put in your circulation pumps, put in the nutrient reservoirs, and then you'll put in the circulation pumps, or not the food circulation pumps, the food adding pumps, run the wires, then connect the valve assembly, which is, connecting the valve assembly is pretty straightforward. There's a beam that supports the tanks up here, right? And so you just take the valve assembly and it fits inside, it fits on top of that, or with the beam between that and the valve, the tops of the servos, or solenoids rather. And then just take a tie wrap and run it through there. And I'll actually provide 2 tie wraps in case one doesn't quite work out for you. It should, and you can put both of them on there to make it even more secure. And then this is where like I said before, where the water hose connects. These are the 3 electrical connectors that the controller will use to turn the solenoids valves on and off. So these are numbers on the GrowBot match up to different pieces. So you see a 3 to 3, 4 to 4, 5 to 5, so on and so forth. All the way up to 16, right? And that should allow you to put things back together pretty easily. If not, let me know. That's basically it, how to reassemble this sucker. So, this is a GrowBot, and it's basically boxed up. We have the frame, the mast, net pots, the case for holding the handmade controllers, and then nutrient tanks, and inside the main tanks is all the plumbing and wires and controller and main brain, all that sort of stuff. And there's the tops, and I'm about to seal it up.